Yo, what the fuck is cracking, shawties? It's your fiending neighborhood tweaker back with another certified hood classic, okay? Another certified hood classic. Well, actually, not another certified hood classic. This is just a retelling of my fucking rolling at work video. You know, when I did a fucking 2-pointer ecstasy pill and went to work geeked as fuck. All right. And the reason I'm retelling this story is because I was off a mixture of, I kid you not, acid and ketamine when I recorded the last one. And that story that I told is not true. Well, I mean, I guess it is true, like, in a way, but it's not how the story actually went. Because halfway through, I seem to have gotten lost and just started talking about a completely different day that I was geeked at work. Or, like, I don't even know. Like, dude, I just started talking, like, I think I started talking about a completely different day where I, like, happened to just, like, explain how Molly feels to one of my coworkers. But, like, that wasn't a day I was rolling, you know? I think I just got confused because I brought up, you know, the kid I work with who's, like, 15, fucking Jacob. I brought up that kid, and then I just got lost. Or, well, I was actually still lost before that. I was just mumbling and jumbling, dude. That's all I was fucking doing in that video. Okay, so this is kind of like a retelling while sober. I mean, sober's a loose term here, okay? I am fucking geeked, but dude, being geeked on Adderall makes me more accurate, okay? That's the fucking difference here. I'm not geeked on Adderall. It's fucking, dude, it's Dexies, dude. What the fuck am I talking? Adderall? I guess it doesn't make me more accurate. It just intensifies my autism. Never mind. Fucking forget what I just said. But yeah, we're gonna tell this story right now. So the first part of it, you know, what I told last time was for the most part accurate. But I think one key difference is that I just didn't explain much of what led up to work as well because I was just high as fuck. So basically on this day, I had forgotten I had work, which is not something that I stated clearly enough in the first attempt I made at this shit. Okay, but now in my second attempt, you know, this is like Geometry Dash, okay? I'm coming back and I'm fixing my mistakes and I'm not hitting any of the spikes. When I was off ketamine and acid playing this Geometry Dash level, whew, I hit all the spikes, buddy. I was kind of bouncing on those spikes like hey, I was making love to those spikes, dude. Okay. But yeah, no, now it's my second attempt, okay? Now it's my second attempt, and I am flying through this shit. I'm getting 100% in this bitch, okay? So, I had forgotten I had work on this day. So, basically, what had happened, I had picked up, you know, the Lego MDMA pills from Jordan, who is Lucas's older brother. You know, my plug, Lucas. You know, y'all know Lucas. Y'all know Lucas. I mention him in damn near every video, okay? Because Lucas is, like, the main plug that I've had for, like, the last, like, year. And he's a pretty relevant guy in my life. Especially since my time in BYUI, he's been a very relevant guy. Until as of recently. And now I've started having to buy off the dark web. Which is just a fun time. I mean, Lucas kind of taught me how to, luckily. But, yeah, no, it kind of sucks that he got caught. But yeah, so Lucas's older brother, who is my ecstasy guy, I'll re-explain the context for that too, right? So Lucas is my plug for, like, everything else. And I've even bought ecstasy from him before, and it's good. Like, Lucas gets good ecstasy, right? It's pretty fire. But, dude, his older brother, Jordan, he has, like, a local plug. And I don't know what the fuck his local plug is on. But, dude, his local plug, Oh my God, dude. Like I said, dude, I would pistol whip a pregnant woman for this ecstasy, dude. Like, call me George Floyd, dude. I am serious about that. Okay? Walking abortion clinic. I'm a roundhouse kick that pregnant lady for this ecstasy every day of the week, including Sunday, okay? Fuck the Lord's Day. Dude, pregnant women, watch out, okay? I'm fiending for my ecstasy, okay? Especially if it's from this motherfucker, okay? So, dude, and at this point, dude, this was summer, right? This was summer that I had this little geek sesh. This was summer, and he had for the end of my spring semester and the beginning of the summer, dude, he had these red Lego brick MDMA pills, and they were so fucking fire, dude. Like, unbelievably fire, right? And dude, after I had bought these a few times, for some reason he had switched to buying like these his plug like started supplying like fucking like Bitcoin ecstasies, which those are good too. Those are good. Don't get me wrong. Like I said last time, those are good too. But dude, the fucking Lego bricks, dude, the fucking MDMA, the Lego brick ecstasy, dude, so fucking fire, it's unbelievable. So fire, I damn near burnt my tongue every time I pop one of them shits down the hatch. Holy shit. Okay, so this Lego brick MDMA, right? I just picked up some. I picked up like fucking like 10 of them shits, and I threw Jordan like, dude, I think it was like, it couldn't have been more than like 60, $70, dude. Like, I got a good ass price on these fucking Lego brick MDMAs, dude. Like, a good price on them. And cause dude, Jordan's my homie, you know, just kind of like Lucas. You know when you're like friends with somebody, and then like just by default you also end up being friends with like their older brother, you know, because Jordan isn't that much older than Lucas. He's only like, you know, a year or two older than Lucas. So they're pretty close, and they've always grown up, you know, really like close to each other, and you know that they're really tight with each other. So of course when I'm friends with Lucas, I'm gonna be friends with Jordan too. So Jordan always gives me some fire fucking prices. So I picked up these Lego brick MDMAs for like $60, $70. And this was during the summer. This was when I was like not in school, right? This was over summer break. Like, I think smack dab in the middle of summer, because this was close to when Jordan stopped having the red Lego brick MDMAs. But either way, it was summer, so I was living at home, gang. I was living at home. I was living with my parents. So you may be wondering, how the fuck were you even planning on doing ecstasy at home in your LDS household? What the fuck? Were you just gonna fucking rail a line of that shit off your desk and then go have dinner with your LDS family, you fucking psycho? No, okay, that was not my plan. Although I did do that back when I was not an acid addict, fucking MDMA addict back in high school. I actually have had dinner with my family off ecstasy, which, I mean, dude, I might make a video on that. That was fucking crazy. I try and stick to the Idaho stories, because those are kind of like the funniest. But dude, I mean, my high school shit, dude, I might go over that. I might go over when I was in a toxic ass relationship and I ate dinner with my family while rolling cock on MDMA. That would be pretty fire, actually. That would be a fire video. But yeah, I just picked up these ecstasies, and I popped one down the fucking hatch immediately on the car ride home. I had just left the house to get these ecstasies, dude. Like, I don't know what the fuck I even told my parents. I forgot the excuse I made to leave the house. But dude, I left the house, and I came back at like, I left to get these ecstasies at like 4. And I came back at like fucking, dude, like 4:30, and I had work at 5. So the second I get back, I just pop this ecstasy down the hatch, and I step out my car, and the first thing my dad says is, "Are you ready for work?" And dude, I had forgotten I had work, okay? At this point, It was like, dude, wait, why was I only working? I was only working like a small amount of days this week for some reason. Like there was like a 2 week period in the summer where I was only working on like Saturdays and like I think like fucking like Wednesdays. And dude, dude, it was easy for me to forget a day of work in under those circumstances because most of the time, dude, like my days would be so packed with bullshit that like if I had work and like only 2 times a week and it wasn't something that was like everyday routine for me, it was easy for me to forget. But I had told my dad my work schedule, and he actually remembered it more than I did, because he's actually a responsible person, and I am not. I am a fucking drug addict. Yay! Okay? That's the reality of the situation, gang. So I came home, my dad asked me, "Are you ready for work?" And all I do is stare at him. It's like the way I look at him in like complete shock, it's like I'm trying to lock in while getting head, dude. It's unbelievable. Because I was so shell shocked by the fact that he just like actually just like fucked up my entire evening. I was planning on going on a walk. Like I said, dude, I completely trailed off when I first mentioned this, but for those of you wondering how I was going to get away with doing ecstasy at my parents' house, I was essentially not going to do ecstasy at my parents' house. I was going to pop that shit, get home, and then go on a walk, and probably go to... Dude, I had Tinder at the time. I had just went through the breakup, like, halfway through spring. Dude, I was a slut over the summer, dude. I was a serious slut. I was probably planning on going to hook up with some random fucking Latina off Tinder, dude. I remember planning like, oh, I'm gonna tell my parents I'm going on a walk, but I don't actually remember what I had planned. But, I mean, there's a sneaking suspicion that if I was doing Molly on this day, I was probably going to a girl's house secretly. That's probably what I had planned. But yeah, no, that was my plan, but that was now fucked up because I had to go to work. There was nothing I could possibly tell my dad that I would be able to get out of work and also be able to go on a walk. There's no excuse I could even dream up in any fathomable fucking universe. There was no excuse that would put me into the two categories I needed to be in, which were not going to work, the not going to work category, and the going on a walk to probably get some Latina pussy category. I had to be in those two categories if my original plan were to work, and that's just not possible. So now I just folded. I was shell-shocked, but I folded, and I was like, okay, I guess, yeah, I am ready for work. Let's do this shit, gang. I mean, of course, that's not how I said it to my dad, because he's LDS, so I had to translate it to like... Oh, yeah, Dad, I am so ready for work. Yippee. Can we read scriptures when I get back? Yay. Woohoo. I want to play cornhole. You know, I translated it to LDS. I don't, something along those lines. And dude, I grabbed my hat, I grabbed my shirt, I grabbed my sandwich artistry materials, and I was out the fucking door. I was out the jam, okay? And my dad drove me to work because... I mean, I had a car at this point, but I also shared it with my sister, so I would never really drive to work, because then I'm just, like, taking the car, and, like, it's just sitting in a fucking parking lot for, like, 7 hours, because I don't get breaks at work, dude, so I'm literally, if I were to drive to work, then, oh, my sister literally can't do anything the whole fucking night, so I never brought the car to work, but I did have a car at this point, but I never brought it to work. I would just get a fucking ride, it was easier. It was easier for my sister to plan shit out if I didn't drive to work. Like, it just made shit easier, right? So my dad drives me to work, and by the time I get to work and I'm like clocked in and I'm fucking like getting my apron on, we have to wear an apron at my fucking sandwich job, which I have to be vague about. I can't say exactly where I work because, dude, I mean, it's very unlikely this is gonna blow up, dude. I get like I make these videos for my homies. I don't make these videos to blow up, and they do not blow up. So, like, and I don't do any work to try and get them to blow up. So I highly doubt that this video is gonna get any traction, and my job's gonna find out that I did this. But I still don't give a fuck. I'm not mentioning anything about the name or the time. I'm not giving any clues out about the name of this establishment. But it's a sandwich place, and we have to wear aprons, so I get my fucking apron on, and by the time I have my apron on, and I got my hands washed, and I'm all clocked in, all ready to go, on the fucking line, making sandwiches, fucking throwing the toppings left, right, and center, I am rolling balls, gang, okay? I am rolling harder than a fucking dude. I am rolling so fucking hard, I could flatten an entire Little Caesars building worth of pizza dough, dude. Holy shit. I am rolling, okay? Rolling with a dab of ranch. Holy fuck, okay? So I'm rolling hard as fuck. I'm rolling hard as balls, okay? And, dude, I'm coming up, and I am vibing so hard with my coworkers. Like, usually I get along great with my coworkers because they're just, like, really chill and, you know, they're just, like, funny. I really fuck with my coworkers, actually. But, I mean, dude, off the Molly, you're, like, double the fun. You're just double the fun to be around. So everybody was loving me on this day, dude. Everybody was vibing with me. You know, Molly, it just makes you, this is gonna make me sound like I'm glorifying it, but I don't give a fuck, okay? It's facts, okay? Molly makes you a more likable person. Like, I'm sorry, this is something that I went over when I was talking about, like, or maybe I didn't go over it. I don't fucking know. This is something that I think I might have gone over when I was talking about my toxic Molly relationship in high school. Molly makes you a more enjoyable person to be around. It makes you more vibrant. It makes you fucking positive and charismatic and optimistic. And it just turns you into a total fucking Chad, dude. It really does. It turns you into a total stud. And this was something I was experiencing on this day. So, dude, I was rolling balls, and everybody was loving my energy. My boss was even loving my energy. I remember in my last video, I just wanted to end the video because I was high as fuck, and I just wanted to, like, do something else, and I got distracted. So I just, like, ended the video by saying, oh, my manager told me that I shouldn't do Molly at work, or some shit like that. But that didn't even happen. Dude, my manager was actually loving my energy on this day. I wasn't the most productive off the Molly. You'd think you'd be productive off the Molly because it's an upper. And I mean, maybe theoretically you could be, like, more productive in some situations. But not in this situation, okay? Not in a making sandwiches type of situation. I feel like it can make you more productive in a social situation, you know? Like, if you go to a fucking dance with a girl, like, or if you, like, just, like, are trying to do something with a girl. Like, in that sense, it'll make you more productive, you know, romantically, or when it comes to just social stuff. It makes you more productive in that sense. It doesn't make you more productive with actual work. For that shit, you're gonna want cocaine or amphetamines, or which I mean, technically Molly is an amphetamine, but it's like a substituted amphetamine. It's not like part of, like, the main amphetamines category, you know. And what I mean, I guess, is like ADHD meds. Fucking, I'm not gonna suggest meth for anything, dude. Fuck that. But yeah, no, like, if you want to be productive making sandwiches, dude, I think cocaine would do the job pretty well. I feel like even amphetamines, I feel like I'm too much of a perfectionist. And I feel like with fast food, you can't be a perfectionist. You just got to get the fucking sandwiches out. So I think cocaine would be the perfect drug. Like, if I were to try to do a drug to be more productive at work, cocaine would be the go-to. But, dude, the Molly, not a good idea. Holy shit. The Molly does not make you more productive at work at all, dude. Especially if it's some physical, like, just, like, hands-on shit. and not like something social, oh, dude, like if it's customer service, you're gonna do a bang up job. But dude, we didn't even have a drive-through at this point because there was construction all on our road, so we didn't have a drive-through. There was barely any customer service on this day. I'll say the few times I did have to deal with someone at like the cash register, dude, I was a fucking legend, okay? I was chatting up these customers like it was nobody's business, except it was. It was somebody's business, okay? And dude, that was the best part, bro. My manager was seeing this shit, okay? My manager probably gave the higher-ups like a fucking 5-star review of me, of Owen. Owen the sandwich maker, dude. Owen the sandwich artist. Fire customer service, gang. Okay? So I'm essentially just like really, really max social charge and shit. But I am not really that fast with making sandwiches, okay? I'm just really fucking just like optimistic and like, fuck yeah, like I am so pumped to be with you guys. You know, I'm just fucking vibing with my coworkers and shit. And dude, that is like all I got out of this role. Like that is as good as it got. Is that I was pumped up to be with like all my coworkers. When it came to the work, when it came to all the cleaning, like near the end of the night when all the everything died down, all the customers left, and we were just cleaning shit and doing a bunch of tasks, I was not fucking with it at all, dude. And usually at these shifts, once everyone left, or like once it got to like 10 o'clock, I'd say, most of the shift that you're like working with, most of the time around 10 o'clock, they all are gone. Or not, they all are gone. Sorry, that was a fucking, dude, I fucked up. Like, 8 people leave or not 8 people. What the fuck am I talking about? 80% of the people leave on your shift. And it's just like you, one other person, and the manager. Most of the time, it's just 3 motherfuckers who are working until midnight. And that's how, like, the shifts at this particular chain works, right? So, dude, I am with only 2 other people, and it's not even my most favorite people. I mean, I'm pretty chill with the manager, but other than that, dude, it is not my most favorite people at all. Like, these are not the most, like, chill people to be around. But even then, I mean, it's all right. Like, it's an all right time. I remember, like, the Jacob kid I was talking about, he was there on this day, and I was talking to him a lot, but we didn't have that, like, that conversation about him asking me if you get horny on Molly. That shit didn't happen on this day, right? That wasn't even something, like, that happened on a completely different day. But yeah, no, he was one of the people that left at 10. So after 10, dude, I was just bored, because the other guy, other than the manager, I never really talked to at all. He doesn't talk to anyone. He's like a delivery driver who's kind of awkward, kind of on the spectrum. I think he's majorly autistic, in fact. But yeah, I pretty much just have a really boring rest of my shift cleaning, and I kind of want to kill myself. And that's because, and I realized this pretty soon, that I'm coming down hard as fuck. After 10, dude, because the thing is, I popped this ecstasy at what, like, fucking, like, 4:15? So, dude, by the time it was, like, 10, 11 p.m., I was coming down harder than a motherfucker, dude. I was coming down off that MDMA. And an MDA come down is not fun. So I kind of wanted to kill myself. But I didn't, and that's why I'm still here today to tell the tale of when I rolled balls at work. And my manager actually didn't say shit. He just said, good job today. And I said, good night. And I left. And that is all that happened. All right. It was pretty chaotic. It was a pretty chaotic day. Rolling on Molly while the whole sandwich rush was going on. It was a pretty chaotic day. But other than that, nothing really to write home about, gang. Just a normal ass fucking normal ass day for the most part, dude. Like, other than being really fucking optimistic, it's kind of crazy how, like, uppers don't actually change shit up that much. Like, other than me being really optimistic, it didn't really change up the ball game too much, all right? I was still performing pretty well. I was still doing everything pretty adequately. And that's why I like uppers, because they're very functional. Even if I were to accidentally do fucking, like, meth before a shift, it wouldn't be the worst shift in the world, dude. Like, it would be a lot worse if I went into that shift off, like, fucking 7K pins. It would be a lot worse. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't do fucking Molly at work. It was boring. It wasn't boring. It was like the opposite of boring. But I just wanted to do so much more. When I was on Molly at work, like, I wanted to go fuck someone. Like, I wanted to get a girl, dude. Like, I wanted to talk to women off the Molly, but I was stuck at work, gang. Like, shit, it was not fun. Don't do Molly at work. That's all I have to say, gang. Okay, and that's, dude. That's pretty much it.